What if all you had left was $50 for the entire week, and instead of panic, it bought you peace? In the United States, $50 is nothing more than a reminder of how expensive simply existing has become. It's half a tank of gas that vanishes before the weekend. It's one small grocery bag at Walmart filled with stress instead of security. It's the moment you look at your bank account and wonder how survival became a luxury you have to fight for every single month. But somewhere else in the world, $50 gives you something that America has slowly taken away from everyday people: the right to breathe, the right to rest, the right to live without fear that tomorrow's bills will break you. In those quiet corners of the planet, $50 buys you a clean bed to sleep in, 3 warm meals a day, and an entire week where nothing hurts, nothing rushes you, and nothing is demanded from you except that you simply be human. There are 5 places, real peaceful and shockingly affordable, where people live slowly, live kindly, and live fully on just $7 a day. Places where mornings begin with soft sunlight instead of deadlines, where neighbors greet you like family, and where your age is seen not as a burden, but as wisdom. Places where you don't have to prove anything. You don't have to run. You don't have to spend your entire life drowning in bills just to get a small taste of calm. This is not travel. This is a way of living you were never shown. A different rhythm, a different philosophy, a different definition of what it means to be alive. And maybe, just maybe, one of these places is the chapter your heart has been trying to write for years. So, don't blink. The last country on this list might feel like home. If this message finds you at the right time, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because what you're about to see could change the way you live forever. 5. Sri Lanka. The heart of ocean and tea. Mornings in Marissa always begin with a kind of gentle light, as if the sun is careful not to wake the ocean too abruptly. The waves roll in softly, so soft that you can hear the footsteps of fishermen pulling their nets, each step slow, steady, peaceful. A few wooden boats rest on the sand, quiet and calm, as if they are breathing with the sea. No rush, no horns, no frantic city mornings. Just salty wind, a faint scent of toasted coconut drifting through the air, and the warm, humble smiles of Sri Lankan people greeting the day not with stress, but with gratitude. Further inland, the hills of Ella rise like a green prayer. Layer upon layer of tea fields curve over the mountainside, wrapped in a thin veil of morning mist. You stand there in a valley so quiet you can hear water flowing and birds calling, and suddenly you realize how long it's been since you felt this softness, this slowness, this truth. In Ella, you only need to walk a few steps before the world feels washed clean of everything heavy you've been carrying. And what makes Sri Lanka almost unbelievable is how affordable it is. A full plate of curry and rice, rich with coconut and aromatic curry leaves, costs just $1.20 to $1.80. A steaming glass of famous Ceylon milk tea is 20 to 30 cents. A bus between cities' beach to tea hills runs for $0.30 to $0.70, and every ride is filled with laughter instead of frustration. A small, clean room with a fan, hot water, and a balcony facing coconut palms, $90 to $130 a month. That's $22, $32 a week. Less than a single fast food meal in New York, but in return, you get a quiet, grounded life that you may have forgotten was possible. There's a 72-year-old British man who once told a story that captures Sri Lanka perfectly. He came for just 1 month, hoping to heal after his wife passed away. I planned to stay 30 days, he said, but after 3 days, I didn't want to go back to England. He described sitting on the sand one evening in Marissa, watching local kids play, watching an elderly Sri Lankan woman pick seashells and smile at him even though they didn't share a language. In that moment, he realized he had found something Europe had never given him in decades: peace without conditions. He rented a small room for $100 a month, ate curry every night, drank tea every morning, and said that $50 a week here gave him more life than $500 a week ever gave him back home. As for visas, Sri Lanka welcomes people with open arms. Tourist visas from 30 to 180 days are easy to obtain online, no complicated forms, no strange requirements. Many expats simply do a short visa run to India or the Maldives, then return to continue their simple life here. The expat community is warm, mostly retirees, artists, and people who walked away from an overwhelming life to find themselves again. Healthcare in Sri Lanka is surprisingly good. Colombo, Kandy, and Gale all have private hospitals that are clean, modern, and English-friendly. A full checkup costs only 20 to 30 $35. No overpriced insurance, no long wait times. The system is simple, and the prices are human. But the true heart of Sri Lanka. The reason it becomes unforgettable is its people. They are gentle, soft-spoken, and deeply respectful of older individuals. Here, age doesn't make you invisible. It makes you honored. Buddhism flows through daily life, shaping everything with calmness and kindness. No loud chaos, no aggression, no pressure to always be productive. Just a society that moves slowly, peacefully, like a world the rest of us lost somewhere along the way. And if somewhere inside you there is a quiet voice, tired of bills, tired of noise, tired of rushing through days that never feel like yours, then Sri Lanka is already calling you. If you want the ocean to heal you, Sri Lanka whispers your name. 4. Cambodia, where life slows down for tired hearts. At sunrise. Angkor. Wat doesn't just glow, it breathes. The first light spreads across the ancient stones like liquid gold, revealing towers that have watched over this land for nearly 1,000 years. Monks in saffron robes walk quietly along the temple paths, their steps soft as the morning air. Just outside the complex, the world moves at a pace so gentle it feels unreal. Locals gather on small plastic stools, eating breakfast by the roadside, steaming bowls of noodles, fragrant rice, and soft laughter drifting through the cool dawn. No one is in a hurry. No one is stressed. Cambodia greets the day the way most of us wish we could, calmly, kindly, without fear. Siem Reap. The small city that cradles Angkor carries this softness everywhere. Streets lined with palm trees, cafes buzzing lightly with conversation markets where vendors smile with shy warmth. And behind all of that beauty lies something even more astonishing: the cost of living. A full bowl of noodles or rice, cooked the Khmer way, costs only $1.50 to $2. A glass of iced Khmer coffee, strong and sweet, is just $0.80 to $1. A tuk-tuk ride across town, $1, and the driver will probably call you sister or brother. And a clean, tidy studio apartment in Siem Reap, often with a balcony and plenty of natural light, runs just $100 to $130 a month. In a world where many retirees spend that much in a day, Cambodia quietly offers a life where $50 a week can stretch farther than you ever imagined. Among the people who found peace here is a 67-year-old woman from the United States. After losing her husband, grief felt like a heavy coat she couldn't take off. Her home back in Arizona grew too quiet, too painful, too expensive. She came to Siem Reap out of curiosity, just to escape the cold of winter. But by her third week, she already knew she wouldn't leave. She told me that the first time she sat by the river, watching the water move slowly under a pink sunset, she felt something inside her unclench. A Khmer grandmother selling lotus flowers invited her to sit, handed her a blossom, and simply stayed beside her without saying a word. "It was the first time in years someone let me be sad without rushing me," she said. Today, she lives in a $120 studio, drinks iced coffee every morning at the same corner cafe, and says, Cambodia didn't just give her a cheaper life, it gave her a gentler one. Cambodia makes it astonishingly easy for retirees to stay. The ER retirement visa requires nothing complicated, nothing burdensome, just proof of a modest income around $1,000 per month, and you can live in the country for an entire year with multiple entry and easy renewals. No pressure, no hassle. Many expats joke that Cambodia has the most peaceful immigration system in Southeast Asia. Healthcare is simple and affordable. Private clinics in Siem Reap and Phnom Penh offer checkups for $15 to $25 with English-speaking doctors who treat you with patience. For anything serious, Bangkok, one of Asia's best medical hubs, is just an hour away by plane. It's a system that makes sense for retirees, low costs day-to-day, and world-class care close by if you ever need it. What truly makes Cambodia special, however, is not its prices or its temples, it's its people. Khmer culture is built on humility, gentle conversation, and deep respect for elders. If you have silver hair, people will greet you with extra kindness. They will carry your groceries, offer their seat, or smile with a sincerity that reminds you your presence matters. There is no culture of rushing, no obsession with productivity. Life here flows like a quiet river, steady, warm, forgiving. And if somewhere inside you there is a heart that has been tired for too long, a heart worn down by loss, by bills, by noise, by a world moving too fast, then Cambodia is one of the few places left that gives you permission to slow down. If your heart is tired, Cambodia gives you space to breathe again. Indonesia, Bali, Lombok, where $50 a week turns into sunlight and smiles. As the sun sinks into the horizon at Kuta Beach, the sky pours out colors that almost don't look real. Deep orange, soft pink, and a shimmering gold that melts into the waves. Surfers walk barefoot along the shore, carrying their boards with the ease of people who have nowhere else they need to be. The breeze smells faintly of salt and frangipani. Move inland a little, and you reach the emerald terraces of Tagalalang, rice paddies carved into the hillside like nature's own staircase. Water trickles gently between the paddies, reflecting the sky like polished glass. And just across the sea, Lombok waits in quiet beauty, palm-lined roads, untouched beaches, and evenings so calm you can hear your own heartbeat. It's in this world, a world of sunlit mornings and peaceful nights, that $50 a week becomes something powerful. It becomes freedom. A steaming plate of nasi goreng, or mie goreng, costs $1.50. A rich cup of Bali coffee, strong and earthy, is $1. Renting a motorbike, your key to exploring beaches and rice fields, is only $40 a month. And a homestay room with air conditioning, hot water, and a balcony often filled with sunlight, $110 to $150 a month. For many locals and expats alike, this isn't budget living, it's soft living, warm living. A life where you spend less and feel more. One Australian man, now 64, has lived here for 10 years. He arrived as a burned-out electrician who just wanted a few quiet weeks by the beach. But weeks turned into months, he said, and months into a decade. He lives on $220 to $260 a month, renting a small room near the rice paddies and eating at the same warung where the owner greets him like family. "I have less money than I ever did," he laughed, "but I've never felt poor here." In his voice there was no regret, only ease, only relief, only the kind of peace that people spend their whole lives chasing. Indonesia also makes staying long-term surprisingly simple. A 30-60-day EVOA is easy to get online. For those who want to stay longer, the BA visa allows 180 days, and many expats renew it and continue living in Bali or Lombok year-round. No complicated demands, no financial proof that feels impossible, just paperwork that respects your desire to live slowly. Healthcare in Indonesia is equally approachable. Bali alone has several reputable private hospitals, Siloam, BMC, and Kasih Ib, offering clean facilities, English-speaking staff, and checkups that range from $15 to $40. It's medical care that doesn't punish your wallet or your peace of mind. But what makes Indonesia unforgettable is not the sunsets or the rice terraces, it's the heart of its people. Balinese culture rooted in Hindu Dharma radiates gentleness, respect, harmony. Elders are honored, visitors are welcomed with sincere smiles, and throughout the day you hear the soft sound of prayers, offerings laid gently at doorsteps, incense drifting through the air like a quiet blessing. Life here is not just lived, it is honored. Every morning begins with gratitude. Every evening ends with calm. And every day feels like a chance to return to yourself. If deep inside you there's a longing to live closer to the sun, to warmth, to kindness, to simplicity, that doesn't take away joy but multiplies it, then Indonesia is already opening its arms. If you want a life closer to the sun, Indonesia opens its doors. 2. Uganda. The kindest heart in Africa. Morning on Lake Victoria feels like a lullaby sung by nature itself. The water is so still, it mirrors the pale blue dawn sky perfectly. Long wooden boats worn smooth by time drift gently as if listening to the lake's quiet heartbeat. Fishermen move with slow, graceful motions, unhurried and peaceful. And whenever they look at you, they smile. The Ugandan smile, often said to be the warmest in Africa, has a way of making you feel welcomed, seen, and respected. And as you begin living here, you realize this peace isn't just on the surface, it flows through every part of daily life. A traditional matoke meal served with warm beans costs just $1. A cup of hot ginger tea is 20 cents. A boda boda ride. Uganda's iconic motorcycle taxi costs only €50 to $1 for several kilometers. And a clean, airy room in gentle cities like Mbarara or Jinja costs $80 to $120 a month. In a place where prices feel like they belong to a kinder past, $50 a week isn't merely enough, it gives you a full, comfortable, unburdened life. Many expats stay in Uganda not because it's cheap, but because it's healing. One 70-year-old man from California said Uganda healed my heart after I lost my entire family. He came here looking for a quiet place to spend the remainder of his years, but Uganda gave him something far deeper. He was welcomed by the expat community like family people who cook together, talk for hours, encourage each other through the challenges of aging, and show up when someone needs a human presence rather than words. He told me that every evening, watching the sun set over the Nile, he felt a kind of peace he had never known before. "Here I am loved as a human being," he said, "not as a bill to be paid, not as a responsibility, but as a soul that needed comfort." Staying in Uganda is surprisingly simple. The 90-day visa is easy to obtain online, and extensions are straightforward. For retirees, Uganda offers a residency option requiring only a modest monthly income, just enough to show you can care for yourself. No heavy requirements, no exhausting bureaucracy. Uganda's healthcare system is just as gentle as its people. Private hospitals in Kampala are clean and affordable, with consultations costing $15 to $40 and medications easily accessible. Many older expats have lived here for years without medical stress because the costs are manageable and the doctors genuinely care. But what makes Uganda truly the kindest heart in Africa is not the low cost or the landscapes, it's the people. Ugandans see older individuals as a living library, a source of wisdom stories and guidance. Here age is a blessing, not a burden. They listen to you. They seek your advice. They help you without expecting anything in return. Life in Uganda moves without hurry or pressure. It feels like a village that grew into a nation yet never forgot how to care for one another. If there is a place on earth where you can remember what it feels like to matter, to be valued, respected, and embraced simply for being yourself. If you want to feel valued again, Uganda brings you home. 1. Guatemala, where the elderly are cherished like grandparents. Morning on Lake Atitlan feels like standing before a giant mirror held up by the sky itself. The water is so perfectly still, you can see every drifting cloud, every golden ribbon of sunlight falling gently across its surface. 3 majestic volcanoes rise around the lake like ancient guardians, and at their feet lie vibrant Maya villages where women sit weaving on wooden looms, creating huipil textiles that shine with the colors of their ancestry. The breeze at Atitlan moves softly, as though it doesn't want to disturb those who come here searching for pieces of themselves. Guatemala is one of the rare places on earth where $50 a week can genuinely sustain a kind, dignified life. A local meal, warm beans, rice grilled meat, or stewed vegetables costs just $1.50 to $2. A cup of Antigua coffee, rich with notes of cacao and volcanic soil, is only $1. A tuk-tuk ride through the village winding past small hills and glimpses of the lake is $60. And a clean, bright room in Panajachel San Marcos, or even the historic town of Antigua, runs only $120, $160 a month. In a place like this, you don't need more money, you need more time. And here, time does not run away from you. A man from New York, now living in Panajachel, shared his story. Here I spend $50 a week, but live like someone who has more time than money, and that is real wealth. He had lived his whole life in the rush of a big city, horns, bills, deadlines, pressure. But in Guatemala, he found the quiet New York never allowed him. He began learning Spanish from his Maya neighbor, walking by the lake for an hour each day, and sipping coffee under a mango tree every afternoon. I no longer feel old, he said. I feel enough. Guatemala also treats foreigners with surprising ease. A 90-day tourist visa can be extended for another 90 days, simple and straightforward. For long-term living, the Residency Pensionado program is one of the easiest in Latin America. Show a modest monthly income of $1,000 and you can stay without buying property or investing large sums. Healthcare is gentle on retirees too. Around the lake, private clinics offer checkups for $15.30, and if anything serious arises, Guatemala City has modern private hospitals with high standards of care. But what truly makes Guatemala extraordinary isn't the cheap cost of living or the stunning lake, it's its people. The Maya are gentle, humble, and deeply respectful of elders. Here, age is seen as wisdom. Older individuals are given front seats at festivals, greeted with reverence and listened to with genuine interest. In the tourist towns and outer villages, violence is low and the community spirit is strong. People look after one another. Guatemala is a place where silence doesn't make you lonely, it heals you. A place where still water reflects not just the sky, but the parts of your soul you've forgotten to care for. If you want a life where the quiet mends the heart and the lake shows you who you are, if you want a life where silence heals and water reflects your soul, Guatemala is waiting. In the end, everything comes down to a single, painful contrast. In the United States, $50 means panic. It's a tiny grocery bag, half a tank of gas one day of worrying, and an entire week of silent stress. It's the feeling of constantly falling behind, no matter how hard you try. But in these 5 places, just by crossing a different border, the same $50 becomes a week of calm, a week of satisfaction, a week where your heart finally takes a full breath without fear. Sri Lanka wraps you in ocean breeze and green tea hills. Cambodia slows your heartbeat with gentle mornings and soft voices. Indonesia gives you sunshine, warm rice, and quiet roads in the early dawn. Uganda reminds you that your age is wisdom, not a burden. And Guatemala lets the lake show you the parts of yourself you forgot to cherish. And then the truth hits you, a truth almost too simple. You don't need to be rich to live deeply. You only need to choose the right country. One decision, one border, one new beginning. This isn't fantasy. This is the real life of thousands who left the US and finally learned to live slower, softer, and more peacefully. If even one of these 5 countries made your heart move, even just a little, tell me. Comment, I choose peace in. Fill in the country where you want to begin again. And before you go, don't forget. Like. So this message reaches someone who desperately needs hope. Subscribe so you never miss the next escape route. Hit the bell so we can meet again in the next video, where I'll take you to a place even cheaper, quieter, and more healing than everything you've just seen today. See you there.